sometimes it was the worst of times.
Gold with
Hello.
the winner.
Aw.
This was the age of the toy car war between Mattel and Matchbox, with the former's Hot Wheels line coming from behind to knock out its forebear and competitor, the Matchbox car. Mattel may have bought Tyco toys in '97, but the Hot Wheels brand didn't rest on its laurels, and the tiny little toy cars are as popular
You okay,
today
Ed?
as they ever were in their heyday.
There are new cars for you to race faster. New cars for you to crash harder. New cars to compete with and win.
This might be due to the bevy of designs Hot Wheels puts out, from iconic movie cars driven by characters like James Bond to limited edition pieces hunted by collectors. Any way you slice it, there is plenty of tread left on the tires for these Hot Wheels.
We're not gonna make it.
What should we do?
Ooh. Let's try again with the red car.
Number 5. Lego. There are a myriad of reasons why we play with toys. Those reasons can also change as we get older. The appreciation behind Lego is particularly multifaceted, as it not only connects us to our creative side when we're young, but also our emotions as we get older.
There is a way to build this into an activity that develops their social communication, their language, and their problem solving.
That's because many adults use Lego sets for stress relief and therapy, similar to how a small Zen garden might help at the office.
Building it when I'm in the middle of it, like the world is shut out, and I kind of like have this Zen-like moment.
The brand isn't just physical toys either. Lego has lent their name to everything from video games and TV to a super successful film franchise.
Y'all ready for this? Oh no, they were ready for that.
That for a small group of plastic bricks. Number 4, My Little Pony. Okay, so we're gonna say the word before anyone else does. Bronies. This is the reason why the My Little Pony toy line makes our list and why it's so high.
Kind of exceeded my expectations. I was expecting it to be, like, good. But it just turned out to be, like, a bit more than that, really.
Of course, we know that My Little Pony has been around for decades, but we're not sure it would have lasted this long were it not for the Friendship is Magic reinvention from 2010.
I know I've heard of those before. But where?
That show and its corresponding toy lines were embraced by a surprising number of male fans, despite the program's intended audience of young girls. While we don't have enough time to properly dissect the pathos of bronyism, the fandom is certainly real for these tiny horses, and has seriously extended their shelf life way beyond the 1980s.
I would definitely say it's a passion, and probably one that will stay with a lot of people for the rest of their lives.
Number 3, Barbie. She has been an icon for over 60 years. The definitive toy doll for little girls all over the world.
All I ever wanted was a ballerina Barbie in her pretty pink tutu.
To be fair, however, Barbie's influence is just as important to boys. So huge has been her cultural impact throughout the decades. That's because, for better or worse, Barbie has shifted with the changing times, and as a result, has sort of reflected the attitudes and mores embraced by society over the years. Today, the phrase "you can do anything" is closely aligned with Barbie to promote a positive sense of self-worth and independence.
Does
Okay,
anybody know how big the brain is? Anybody?
It may seem silly to lay so much responsibility and influence at the feet of a kid's toy, but there's a reason why Barbie has endured for so long. And it's because of her fans.
I think when little girls played with Barbie over the years, they were given the opportunity to pretend to be doing things that were quite empowering.
Who is FlooringInc.com? We're an online flooring superstore that has built a reputation around great selection, great prices, and top-notch customer service. At FlooringInc.com, whether you're looking for flooring for your home, gym.
Number 2, Star Wars. Okay, so there are legions of fans dedicated to all sorts of Star Wars toys, but realistically, we gotta give it up for the OG, the original Kenner Star Wars line.
Ready to feel the force? Yeah! Switch on your Star Wars lightsabers or Jurassic. Go!
That's because there are people who will literally spend a small fortune trying to buy up and relive their childhood memories, or create memories they wish they could have had. It doesn't matter if you're looking up a classic Boba Fett, a Death Star playset, or that elusive early bird voucher that held you over till your real figures came in the mail. Star Wars was a huge deal.
When the first boxes were delivered, they never even reached the retail counter.
people go into the boxes.
A lot of the fun behind toy collecting is seeing what becomes a success and what doesn't. And Kenner obviously struck the mother lode with this one.
They're in total control. They're masters of these guys' destiny. So it opens the imagination.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Funko Pop. If McFarlane Toys pioneered pop culture toy licenses into the mainstream, then the Funko Pop brand has turned it into an art form. The Field of Dreams line could just as well be applied to Funko's seemingly endless line of pop culture figurines. Chances are that if it exists, Funko will eventually make a pop out of it, no matter how obscure or niche that character or property may be.
Working with our creative team, there's always somebody who's sort of an expert in every category of license we have, so we tap into the right person, find the right details that we need to know about each character.
That's because the company totally understands that everyone's a fan of something, and as a result, these toys have the ultimate appeal.
And I think our mission is to be sure that we're getting something to everyone.
There's literally a pop out there for you, and you. All of us, really. And that is just one of many reasons why people love them. So what collections do you have lying around? There are definitely some Beanie Babies, Hot Wheels, Legos, My Little Ponies, Barbies, and Funkos lying around my house. And I would show you my Barbies, because I have like a lot of Barbies, but they are not. My sister. Anyway. Be sure to tell us your favorite toys in the comments, or come talk to me on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton, or on my YouTube channel. See ya. Prince William and Prince Harry have been at odds for more than a year now, and the rift between the two brothers only seems to be growing. Much of this seems to come down to the fact that Harry has been on an interview tour of sorts, and whenever he speaks about his childhood or his life in the UK, he tends to say something that could be construed as hurtful to his family. From Harry and Meghan Markle's sit down with Oprah Winfrey to his appearance on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, and now his new docuseries. The Duke of Sussex has made claims that have shed a less than positive light on the royal family. On May 28, a 95-minute episode of The Me You Can't See saw Harry talking about his family once more. In discussing his wife's struggle with her own mental health, Harry seemed to address his claim that his family wouldn't listen when he told them that Meghan needed help. He said, "As parents, as siblings, certainly from what I've learned, there's an element of shame we feel because we're like, how could we not have seen it? But we all know when people are suffering and people are struggling that we're all incredibly good at covering it up." Shortly thereafter, a source spoke to the Daily Mail about William's latest fears when it comes to his brother. They say that he is back on March 11th when he was in Stratford visiting a school. At the time, the Duke of Cambridge was asked by a reporter whether the royal family is racist. His answer was a straightforward, "We're very much not a racist family." He hasn't publicly said anything about Harry since. But here's a question. Just when did Prince William and Prince Harry's relationship go sour? Well, according to royal expert Robert Jobson, it all went down last year. Speaking with Us Weekly, Jobson said the two never really argued with each other prior to that. He explained, "It used to be quite a straightforward thing, right? Because they weren't arguing and life was simple. Allegedly, it wasn't until recently that things fell apart, for the whole world to see." Jobson continued, "And then it just slowly descended into something that was difficult, personally and publicly, really over the past year and a half." Still, Jobson thinks the two are still on speaking terms, and there could be room for reconciliation down the line, an outcome Harry himself alluded to in the Oprah interview.
The relationship is space at the moment. And, time heals all things, hopefully.
More than anything, Jobson believes it was Prince Philip's funeral that might have been the catalyst that ultimately brought these two brothers back together. He explained, "I do think they did actually talk, and if there was a rebuilding of their relationship, well, it was a baby step, and that's fine. Ultimately, Harry was only there to pay his last respects to his grandfather, who was a great man, and whether or not there was a rebuilding between William and Harry, that's going to show over time." According to reports published in the Sunday Times, however, William is still very much upset with Harry, although apparently he cannot help but miss him. A source told the paper, once he got over the anger of how things happened, he was left with the absence of his brother. They shared everything about their lives, an office, a foundation, meetings together most days, and there was a lot of fun along the way. He'll miss it forever. Meanwhile, another source revealed that despite all the drama, William is intent that he and Harry's relationship will heal in due course. Whether both brothers get their wish and those bridges are built again, however, remains to be seen. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift.
The Great Khali was released by WWE in 2017, and sadly, since then, the Great Khali has undergone a transformation that some fans have called sad. Back in WWE, the Great Khali was a true giant among men, and he was in better shape than past giants like Andre the Giant and Giant Gonzalez. Khali was not overweight like Andre, and he was not stick thin like Giant Gonzalez. Instead, Khali was very muscular and had a low body fat percentage. Today, the Great Khali's physique has changed. He no longer has a flat stomach and has gained several pounds of belly fat, and his chest is no longer as muscular and is beginning to sag. Khali has also lost muscle in his arms and shoulders. Even though Khali is no longer in the same kind of shape that he was back in WWE, he is still in great shape for a man who is nearing 50 years old. Another reason why Great Khali is not as muscular is because he is officially retired from pro wrestling, and he no longer has to worry about going to the gym every single day. Tonka made a surprising appearance in public recently, where he revealed what his physique looks like today. Former WWE superstar Tatanka was once well known for his physique, but now things have changed. Tatanka made an appearance on WWE television in 2021 on Raw Legends Night, and on the show, Tatanka decided to wear his old ring gear, but sadly, Tatanka is not in as good of shape as he was back in the 1990s. But this has not stopped him from showing off his current physical condition, because Tatanka believes that he is in very good shape for his age, which is 60 years old. Even though some fans were stunned when they noticed that Tatanka was no longer in the same kind of shape that he was back in his prime, Tatanka seemed unfazed by the harsh criticism from fans, and he will continue to make appearances without his shirt on. Hornswoggle scared fans recently when he posted sad photos of himself. Hornswoggle was released
Guys,
by
be nice.
in 2016, and back then, Hornswoggle was not known for his physique, but at the same time, he did not look out of shape. But in 2021, Hornswoggle has let himself go. Hornswoggle recently posted some very sad-looking photos of himself asleep outside. The photos were done in a very comedic manner, but some fans got worried that Hornswoggle had let himself go. But it was revealed later on that this was done for a commercial. But these photos still surprised fans because they didn't know that Hornswoggle had gained weight. Hornswoggle also made news last year when he did a parody of AJ Styles for Impact Wrestling. and it was clear that Hornswoggle looks nothing like he did back in WWE. Two WWE Hall of Famers recently revealed their shocking transformations. Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg Valentine were a tag team back in the mid-80s on the Dream Team. Now, more than 30 years later, Beefcake and Valentine look very different, as they are both in their 60s. The two former tag